It is a corporate time with Tom and Dan. I am Dan.
I'm Tom.
Samantha, our producers here. Butler, I believe, went to the post office. My wife went to the post office yesterday. Walked in, power was out.
Oh, really?
Complete power outage at the post office, and people were mad.
People are always mad at the post office, though.
Well, I would say now more than ever, people are just mad, and I'm going to start just starting the show by putting it out there. Today on this show, no mad. There's no mad here.
No mad?
Yeah.
No
mad zone.
No mad zone, bro. This is cool, dude. Laugh. This is a laugh zone. Laughs your only.
Working at the post office seems horrible. That was it.
Thank you.
I'm just, right?
Yes.
It takes a special type of person.
What place do you walk in where you're like, oh, this is not that bad of a place to work? Like, it's very rare I see most of them like, man, I would not want to work here.
Well, I have such a strange and probably ignorant concept of what anybody does at their job that I walk into most jobs and look around and think, I think I'd like to do this.
Oh.
I'm just that stupid. Like, I'll walk into a Beef O'Brady's and look around and go, I think I could work at Beef's.
Do you guys have fantasy jobs?
Yes.
Like, that you think about before you go to sleep that help you calm down?
Whoa.
Or is that crazy?
That took a turn.
But I'm very intrigued.
I do have fantasy jobs. I have a ton. Well, we've talked about this. I have a ton of fantasy jobs. I did not know that you were using
this
this.
is like his meditation.
Yeah, he was using
What's your
this
fantasy job?
as some sort of active meditation.
My fantasy job is, and this is a scenario, that I work at the Gaylord Palms Atrium.
And what now?
Yeah, you're the gay guy.
The indoor big glass bubble.
The atrium?
There we go.
You can't say atrium?
Yeah, I think I tried to say it like atriarium.
Like an aquarium with
Wait,
an atrium.
you combined
Atrium.
an atrium with a terrarium and made an atriarium.
Anyway,
Look up atriarium. I like that.
My fantasy is that
You're the plant man.
I'm the guy in charge of the plants, but no one like the other
honorary old man that they let walk around
yes,
and water
yeah.
the plants.
And the other, like the management there, doesn't understand the plant. I fell between the cracks, right? So no one bothers me, or he
No,
checks
you
up
actually fell between the cracks. and they found you as an old man. You're stuck between two palm trees. And they're like,
Anybody seen Tom?
We found another dumb old man. He's back here trying to propagate and steal our tropical plants. He's back here with his machete doing some cutting, some saplings.
some Brazilian tourist like, it stinks in here. Look at this. Anyway, my fantasy is that I work there, but no one bothers me or tells me what to do.
You're Gaylord Palm. Gaylord Tom.
And I have,
Damn it.
and I have this little, it's my office, but it's tucked away like somewhere in the basement of Gaylord Palms.
Just a closet.
You want kind of what our buddy, the sexton, Don Price, had. A little area, a tiny little office that was all his little awards and things that he liked.
But that's a bummer. Like, there's a bunch of dead people. Everybody's
Well, no,
crying.
I mean, like, you want that tiny little office. There's some, like, articles about, Gaylord Tom has the best plants at the Gaylord Palms. And then
No, I don't want any attention. I want to be
Under the radar, yeah.
Like, no one even knows how the plants are taken care of.
They don't even know your name.
Oh, they think it's magic.
Well, they're like, yeah.
Somebody takes care
They're
of
like,
it.
Old Man Van, I think, is back there.
Wait a minute. Are you Old Man Van or are you... I like
Gaylord Tom.
Gaylord Tom.
Anyway, and then I have a little...
a little bottle of whiskey.
No, I just go around there and I...
You don't need a golf cart. That's huge. You're driving it through they have that mini vendor village that goes around. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
They have this little vendor village. You know what I'm talking about,
Yeah.
Sam? Where they have like little stores that sell things that no one needs. Like most hotels have a statue store.
Right.
Every hotel, like high-end hotel, you'll walk into it's a boutique.
It's kind of like a cruise ship.
You walk into the
It's little
boutique,
random stuff.
like, what do you sell? Oh, we sell Peruvian statues. I was like, oh, excellent.
$8,700.
Great. And
You're
then-
like, $8,700.
And then you have another little store that sells like earrings, right? And you're driving your golf cart around there, right? Is it late at night when no one's around, or because you know that place has got guests that
Yeah. No,
it's
I
always-
hide
it's
during the
hopping and
day.
bopping.
Yeah. I somehow in my fantasy I live there and sleep there too.
Okay.
Like
What, in a room or in your office?
no, in my office, like in a
Or
bed,
in a hammock out in the plant.
She has one of those Murphy beds that falls down.
Yeah.
like a better Call Saul like situation where my office out the Murphy bed, and then I sleep there.
Oh, that is depressing.
And then that's it. That's
He
my
heats up his little
existence.
Hungry Man dinners
Yeah.
in the office.
I
And
feel
then-
like you could work this better if he is Gaylord Tom. I feel like they would have a room for him on that floor where he could actually go and have a nice bed. They'd
No,
have room
that's not in the
service
contract.
actually bring him like a
No,
cheeseburger.
I don't want the
You'd be
attention.
set in your ways. You're like cheeseburger, 2 mustard packets,
I just want to
tater tots,
like no attention. I want nobody to know I'm there.
3
And-
Miller Lights.
You're gonna be a plant ghost.
I think I'm describing Gaylord Palm's what's the mask guy, half mask? the
Phantom of the Opera.
Phantom, yeah.
Phantom of the Gaylord.
Yeah, that come down from the rafters at night.
You're on all the security cameras. Who the hell?
Music of the night. Isn't that song? Music of the night?
Then I get mad at the Russian Cirque du Soleil, but they stepped on the goddamn philodendron.
Hey, Ivan, next time you're doing the twirly doos, watch my philodendron.
Yeah. But knowing that, anyway, that's my fantasy job. Just living in Gaylord Palms, taking care of some plants,
I'm living in the Gaylord Palm.
and no one knows I'm there. And that seems
That's
perfect
extremely
to me.
specific.
Yeah. And that's what I think about before I fall asleep.
Okay, Neo Del Rio.
Crazy person.
I've got some inside information regarding your meditative techniques that you
Okay.
use, where you dream about being Gaylord Tom and then you fall asleep. All the while, your whole family is in the bed mashing and kicking you, right? Like,
Oh no! But part of this, this is when I'm old and they.
No, I mean, like, you're using this as a meditative technique in the bed.
Oh,
all the
yeah,
while,
yeah.
your wife's yelling at your kids are kicking your genitals. They're all in the same bed, is what I mean.
Oh yeah. I woke up this morning, Max, Tommy, but they're huge, by the way. Now.
I mean, Tommy is 7 foot tall. Have you seen
No,
Tommy?
I haven't seen him
We
lately.
were,
They
we
are
were
giants.
marveling at Tommy. Like, Tommy might as well be, who was that guy? George Mirashon now. Like, he's so tall. So tall.
It used to be way cuter when they were like tiny, and then
It
but
used
now
to be way cuter when Maisie didn't have a damn mouth on her.
I'm pushing them hard too over out of the way, like because it's like a bunch of
big now.
frat boys sleeping on a cot, and I'm like pushing Joey.
You have to launch
like, get
them.
out of my way.
Yeah, you have to launch
Yeah.
them. They're big now.
Yeah, they're too big.
Maisie weighs like 60 pounds.
Yeah.
When do you kick him out of bed?
Never. Neither
You
is
never
baby.
do it,
I
right?
told Maisie, said, I'm going to live at home forever yesterday. And I go, you damn right you are. And I hugged her and I kissed her head.
I assume
Don't
they'll,
take my baby,
they'll grow
son.
out of it. Max barely comes anymore. Tommy's pretty much an every nighter. But
Also, Max is starting to stay in his own bed.
yeah, he'll stay the whole
He's
night.
also got a Tinder account.
And then he'll just wake up and go to the couch. And said they used to wake up and always run
That's
to our
what
bed.
you used to do.
y-
So they're hungover.
What's that about? Yeah. What?
No, just he'll wake up from his room and then walk to the couch and wait, and then
Oh, he doesn't go back to sleep on the couch.
Yeah, no.
Oh,
You go,
okay,
you go in there.
He's
and wait-
waiting to
you
watch
wait
TV
for
in the
Lord
morning.
Nintendo.
What do you hide the remote?
No, he waits for his brother because they
That's a
watch
good
it
boy.
together.
Oh
so
my
he's
Good
waiting.
God.
boy.
And yeah, it's weird. They're codependent.
Neo Del Rio in our Twitch chat room says, I know a guy who is one of the old school plant guys at Disney. He was a grump, always complaining how Disney would put plants together that would kill each other. That's fantastic.
That's what I want to do. Although that seems like too corporate, and they're yelling at the plant guy because I bet people complain like the old school. Like the old ladies that have been going to Disney World for like 30 years, because some people get addicted to just go, you know what I'm saying? And then
She's right there, dude.
and then they probably
She's right there.
they probably
The
Sam, are you
old
gonna be like a
the old
60-year-old
ladies
lady?
that get addicted to Disney World?
Well, Samantha's not old.
I'm getting there.
I
I'm
mean-
getting up there.
But are you gonna be
She's
like?
straight up addicted to Disney, though.
Yeah, you're gonna be
Got
like
my passes back.
65, still go to Disney World.
Why not?
I will.
Why wouldn't I?
Yeah.
But you'll be complaining that
Probably
like
be more fun then because they'll have cooler stuff.
if there's like a small weed in like the
Oh, yeah, I
the
already
flower,
do that. I already do that.
You're like, hold on, this is supposed to be
That's more my husband's
I already
speed.
do that.
And then you-
God, I'm right there with
That's
your
not me.
husband.
like this is not the Disney standard.
I do that, and Andrea will complain to me. I do it a lot. I found myself doing it a lot at the Hulk coaster before they did the renovation. I was walking through the Hulk coaster here in town. I was like, I was like, what did they wash their uniforms with? Acid? Why are all the colors washed out of them? Look how dingy these things are.
Universal's a little more bobo.
But Andrea's like,
all the paint's faded in Seussland.
Andrea's like, will you shut up?
yeah.
Like, what are you doing?
Yeah. Just go.
Yeah,
put
just-
your head
yeah,
down and
just
do
ride a
your
ride.
thing.
You're in a paradise of fun.
Yeah. This is a put your head down and march scenario. Don't look.
Do you have an old, like an old Sam dream job?
You know, I
Are
haven't
you
ever
still
thought
doing?
about
You
it.
still
really.
doing your podcast when you're 65? Are you still doing semantics with your hubby?
If we're both still alive, probably.
Wow, that is grim. That is grim. I like your grimness. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll be.
He won't.
You tell me.
Yeah, I mean, you do give us the inside scoop.
He's
It's
got
not-
bad knees.
Yeah, you
sounded
yell at
good.
him the
He's
first-
been
Oh my God.
hospitalized.
You yell at him for getting COVID.
got-
That's
I mean-
pretty harsh. Even for me, I'm like, oh my God. You're like, oh, you got it.
I will not sell out some of the things that you have yelled about him here because this is a safe space for you, and I want that to remain. But I will say that, yeah, I agree with Tom. I think you will be alive. For me, I do believe that I will have an old man job. My hope is that Radio Shacks make a comeback.
I don't want to work when I'm old.
I want to work at a Radio Shack so bad. So bad.
There's like one left in Orlando.
Have you seen the new boom boxes they're rolling out?
No.
Radio Shack is rolling out like USB Bluetooth boomboxes that are their original
Old school?
design. Yeah, with the wood paneling.
Radio Shack?
Radio Shack. Look it up.
Are they just online now?
I think they might just be online now,
Okay.
but these boomboxes are so cool. And you can put like a memory stick in it to play all your music.
Oh, yeah. Supersonic retro 4-band radio and cassette player with Bluetooth.
Yeah, dude. I'm telling you.
Yeah, but you could probably
It's a
just
novelty.
search this and
I can get one on Amazon.
Yeah, they have it cheaper. Like, why
and
but
it's
go?
way cooler.
But it's
Why
not
go through Radio
Shack.
Shack?
It's not the Radio
Yeah.
Shack brand.
Oh,
It's
it
not Big
says-
Red.
okay,
It's not
yeah.
Big Red.
Yeah. If it's a Radio
It
Shack
is.
brand, then there's something comical about that,
Yeah.
which I like, and I'll pay the extra amount for.
You know what's
If
funny?
it's just a Bluetooth S speaker,
No,
then I'll
no,
just
dude,
I'll
it's
buy it
huge.
anywhere.
Hey,
It's
it's
like-
got 5 stars.
But
5-star reviews.
Does it have the word Radio Shack?
Yes.
Okay, there
and
you go. That's
the
it.
wood
That's-
paneling. It's
that's-
got the cheesy
Oh,
wood
It's got
paneling.
wood
okay.
paneling,
Yeah, the wood paneling is amazing.
They're going
Andrea's-
full on into
Oh yeah,
their
leaning,
brand.
Yeah, all the way in. Andrea
That's
will not let me buy it.
That's what you have to do. Like, you have to realize what you are and make fun of it. Hooters should do that too. Honestly, you gotta realize you're.
They are. Did you know tonight is the finals?
What do you mean?
Tonight is you.
Hooter finals?
It's on the calendar. You're supposed to come to my house. I already bought a whole case of Yingling Flight.
What is it?
It's the Miss Hooters International competition live from iDrive. It's sold out, so all we can watch is the live stream. You dum dum.
It's sold out.
It's sold out.
Hold on. There's a Hooters bikini contest at iDrive. Samantha.
Miss,
Yes,
You looked
it
at-
is.
It's Miss Hooters. The fact that you didn't look at the calendar, the fact that you don't remember me talking to you
Hold
about
on,
this, the fact that you don't remember receiving my
It
paper
is-
invitation
it
in
is
the
tonight
goddamn.
at 7 p.m.
I sent you a paper. I'm sorry, my voice is cracking because I'm getting very upset.
I
I
thought this
sent
didn't
you a
exist
paper invitation to your house, sir. Orange and white with the owl.
It is sold out. I wonder. They do have a panel of celebrity judges. However, it does
Yeah,
not
one of
say
them
who
is
they are.
one of them is Angelique from on Real Radio.
Oh, really?
from the Monsters,
Oh,
yes.
cool.
I've never been more jealous of a radio person in my life. I
have no
want to
idea.
be the damn judge. Nobody loves Hooters more than me.
I didn't know this was happening.
I love Hooters. I
You're right.
love Hooters.
This is
I
a
eat there with my family all the blanking time.
You should yell at Travis because Travis should have been on this, and you could have been.
I agree.
I
there's,
mean,
Yell at
there's an MMA
dude,
player.
Hooters could be one of our main sponsors. We could send some business to Hooters.
Dude, who wears Hooters clothing? Raise your hand.
We'll have
Who
Hooters Wednesdays.
who eats at Hooters at least once a
Yeah,
month
yeah,
with
yeah.
his family?
Yeah.
Dan Dennis
You're
does,
right.
damn it.
You're right. Nobody else that endorses Hooters
They don't even touch Hooters.
likes Hooters. That's true.
That's probably true.
Daniel will
probably
legitimately
true.
like it. and
I love it.
he's giving him free publicity right now. He loves it.
I buy their clothing.
Yeah.
I bought my daughter a T-shirt that says
Yeah.
"Future Hooters Girl." I own that. I effing own that.
No.
Ask
Are
my
you
wife.
no, go, come on.
You got my wife's number. Call her right now. I'm going on the record.
I believe him at this point.
No,
It's
you did not
ridiculous.
buy
Because
Maisie a future
sometimes
shoe.
you don't believe my tall tales.
You bought Maisie a future Hooters girl shirt.
I will let the boss tell you whether or not I bought Maisie
No,
a future Hooters shirt. I'm going on the record. The chat room doesn't believe me either. Fine.
Yeah.
Fine. All of you, prepare yourselves. Prepare yourselves to be horribly wrong and be embarrassed. I'm the best dad. She might be doing business. I don't know if she's gonna pick up. I hope she picks up.
Hold on. I'm gonna,
Okay,
okay.
don't say a word. Okay. All right, what line?
1.
Okay. Hey, babe.
Hey, Andrea.
Oh, God. Oh, God. I got her. Oh, hold on. Babe.
Yeah, you're putting me on the spot.
Yeah.
Andrea,
Tom's
I
putting
got
you
a
on the
question.
spot, not me, because they
Hold
don't
on.
believe me.
Don't influence her.
Yeah, don't influence.
Andrea, how you doing?
I'm good.
It's been on the record that that the Dennis family loves Hooters, right? We've talked about it. You enjoy
Yeah.
their wings.
Who yelled at me because I even changed our Hooters plans and we went and shifted to another place that wasn't as good for wings and you were mad?
Yes.
Yes, and
That happened last week, by the way.
and that's been on the record. By the way, I'm putting it out there that we should have Hooters as a sponsor because
yeah.
Yeah.
Daniel will
I
be the
love
only
Butler on
person that legitimately endorses
No,
Hooters
my
and likes
wife-
going there.
My wife loves Hooters more than me, sir.
Yeah, the Dennis family
We
loves
bought
Hooters.
we bought our daughter a Hooters shirt.
There
she
it
has
is.
a Hooters shirt.
But
What-
what does it say on
It
it?
says future Hooters girl.
Yeah, it's pretty inappropriate. I need to I should shoot you guys a picture. It's in her closet right now.
It's true. It's
I
true.
cannot believe
hold
that.
on, nothing says trashy than saying we bought our daughter a future Hooters girl shirt while a tiny peepee dog barks in the background.
It's
It's
true.
been a while since you guys have had a dog bark in the back of your
Yeah,
show.
you're
I
right.
know. I
That's
like a
throwing
good
that.
trashy little peepee dog bark in the back.
Oh man.
The Dennis family is
We
an
run hot.
anomaly
We run
because
hot,
it
man.
is like a
We're a spicy family.
seemingly you got it together, the most organized family I've ever seen. Like
we
your
just-
bills are paid.
But there's
you
just
are,
one thing. We love Hooters. We love it.
You
We
guys
kryptonite.
are the top. Like I mean, Maisie is she's gonna be a GD CEO of
Yeah.
a Fortune 500
And-
company.
and guess who she
That-
loves?
Literally, sky's the limit. She could be the GD president of the United
And
States.
guess what she loves? The Hooters girls, because they treat her like a princess.
Yes, that's the best thing. Like I think we even talked to Tiffany about this. If
Yeah.
you go to Hooters, it's great for little girls because all the Hooters girls come over and like, oh, you're so pretty.
And then they
your
play,
hair's so
and then they
cute."
color with your kid the whole time while you eat the wings. It's awesome.
Listen,
I got to figure it out.
I just saw Tiffany announce it on her social media. Tiffany's having another baby. It's
Yeah,
a girl.
It's a little girl. I text her. I said,
And-
I know all about this now.
And I may put a small wager on the fact that Tiffany probably will not get her daughter a future Hooters girl shirt.
No, Tiffany is pro Hooters. In fact, the
is
only person that texted me and said, people get Hooters wrong. We love going there. The only other family that goes to Hooters that I know is Tiffany.
So you and Tiffany
Go to Hooters with our families. Yes, because we love Hooters. That's okay. Hey, I am what I eat.
It's fine.
What? I don't know if that works, but I'm saying it.
so will you let Maisie wear this to her first day of school?
She's wearing it to the hot tub and mini fridge event. Don't Fauci my Florida.
Don't bring her there.
Ooh.
If you put it over her
She's
face.
the second contestant riding. She's the second contestant riding the shark.
Oh no. If you put your baby on that shark.
I'll
All right,
wipe it
babe.
down.
I love you, baby.
I love you too.
Are we going to Hooters tonight?
I would. How about this weekend? I'd love to get some wings.
All right, you heard it from the boss. All right, this weekend it is. I love you.
Love you too. Bye.
Bye bye. I told you.
You get it in the morning and you get to go to Hooters. I don't know if the crow would listen. I want to go to Hooters.
Wait, your wife has always said that she has no problem with those places. This is something you've placed on yourself. I've started
Listen,
to figure you out, sir.
Here's the thing.
You place this pressure on yourself.
We were talking about this the other day when Crystal turned 21. I did take her to Hooters for her first Bud Light.
Wait a minute, dude. We almost have that in common because I think Andrea was 21 when I first took her to
call Crystal. Hold on.
For real?
This is Hooters Memory Show. This is a Hooters memory. This is
No,
Remember
I'm
the
with
Hooters.
you. I like Hooters
Oh,
too.
I like Hooters.
Today is National Wing Day.
Yes, it
That's
is.
why they're
Oh,
doing the
alright.
contest on the
Do
thing.
you really want me to call your wife?
Yeah.
And bother her?
I want to.
Okay.
I'll ask her where she because at this they got there
I
is
am so
we have a
jealous.
Hooters family connection here.
we do. We do.
And my son, he
This
loves
show is rooted in Hooters.
Tommy loves nude women. Seriously. He requested a bunch of nude women for his next birthday. And I think ever since,
What do you mean requested nude women?
I think request every birthday.
Something happened to him when he saw the Lizzo album cover.
Yeah, changed him.
Yeah, changed him.
Yeah, I remember
It
that.
turned him into
he
a
saw
man.
He saw that on that Alexa
Yeah.
View.
Yes, yeah, no,
yeah,
he-
he saw the album cover.
He stared
Yes.
at it, and
Yeah.
for ever since then.
Line 1, she's here.
All right.
All right, line 1 going over.
Hey, babe.
Hey.
So, just on the record, do you remember where you went for your first beer when you turned 21?
I do.
Just tell everybody.
You took me to Hooters.
Number 1 Hooter show.
We're trying to get because Daniel loves Hooters, and he bought Maisie a future Hooters girl shirt.
Oh my god.
I did. And Andrea
You confirmed it.
And
It's true.
Andrea
It's true.
We had just had Andrea.
There's nothing
on.
wrong with it.
There's nothing wrong with that.
No.
That's a
Hey,
that's
if
a
y'all
job.
want, if y'all want to make that weird, then all you're doing is being
Yeah.
disrespectful to good-looking ladies. They're working hard and
Yeah,
bringing
they're
you
working
food.
hard.
Yeah, they're working hard,
Yeah.
man.
Anyway, so we just realized we had a Hooters bond.
We do have a Hooters
Yeah.
one.
So now you guys got to take both of your families together to Hooters.
Yeah. And, Tommy would love it, right,
Tommy
babe?
loses mine.
Yeah, Tommy loves boobs and butts.
yeah.
Dude, we got to make this happen.
Was it
I
from-
want to fog his glasses up so bad. I want him to be so happy and get him a little bowl of curly. They have good ass curly fries.
Yeah.
Don't be sleeping on the regular fries. They're seasoned with salt and pepper. They're good as hell.
So should we take a family trip to Hooters? We'll take the Van and Dennis family
Yeah.
to Hooters and have like once. I feel like once a year we should do the Venice family trip.
Why don't we do it on Christmas Day?
Some people go eat Chinese.
Yeah, we'll go to
Hooters may be
Hooters.
closed. I don't know. They're probably
We can do
closed.
Christmas Eve. Christmas Eve.
Oh yeah, they love that. Nothing. The waitress is happy me working on Christmas Eve. Sorry, babe. All right, I'll call you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye.
Oh,
Oh, she gave you a bye-bye.
Well, we were wasting her time.
Yeah.
we were wasting her time.
Anyway, I'm telling you,
We did.
we need Hooters as a sponsor.
Okay, we're
I
working.
think they are kind of hurting for business nowadays, right? So we got to get Butler on this.
They
I don't know,
they
man.
went through a problem, I think, in the mid 2000s where people were just dating them back like it was considered like a 1992 restaurant, and
Yeah.
then like all the other.
But that's how
Wing
back now.
House and Twin Peaks and Tilted Kilt started popping up, and but they revamped their brand and everything, right? And I think they probably closed some stores.
It's worse than I thought.
They did close some things, yeah.
It's worse than I thought.
The shirt? The shirt you got for your daughter?
All right,
Yeah,
hold on.
look, I have the shirt here. I'll read it. It's actually very intricate. It's a
yeah, with a cartoon heart on it,
it
which
stars and the Hooters logo. It says
Which is in the song.
It says
Yeah.
5 reasons why I want to be a Hooters girl.
Oh, we got reasons why. Okay.
Number 1, I love to be the center of attention. Number 2, I'm 100% original. Number 3, I'm totally talented. Number 4, I'm a diva. And number 5, everybody loves me.
especially landscapers, because they tell me with the F word and the C word.
And cable men who's pat my bottom.
All right,
we did it. We did it.
Anyway, let's take a quick break. We'll be right back with more Corporate Time. Welcome back to a Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. You been dabbling at all in the Olympics, sir?
Well, every time I go to turn it on, which is like late at night, where I'm like, let's see what's happening in the Olympics. Always swimming. And then I'm like, oh, change it up a little bit. I want to see other events,
Yeah.
but I guess swimming is the most popular.
I've been watching a lot of weird stuff because, again, my wife is really into it, so I have no choice. And I've been trying to be a better husband and not like she'll say like, oh, do you want me to go upstairs? And I'm like, nah, you stay on the big, in the living room. If anybody leaves, it'll be me, kind of a thing. So we started watching archery, and that's fun.
That's cool.
That is fun. Archery is fun in the level of skill that these guys have. And there's a lot of drama and pageantry in it. And I kind of like the pageantry of they have to like go and stand a certain way. And then they have a countdown clock and they only have a certain amount of time before they can fire. And then
Okay.
they get points just like a dartboard, 10, 9, 8, 7, moving out from the center.
Are they
right?
using a compound bow?
Yeah,
Okay.
and then yesterday when we were watching, this guy, I believe he was from the Netherlands, went to shoot, and he was like, "What's happening?" Like you saw him like looking weird. His bow is exploded, like it snapped. The compound bow. It didn't hurt him or anything, but he was so mad because they said, "Well, now we'll have to go to his backup bow," and normally they don't prepare to do that.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
sure enough, when he shot with it, he sucked. Like you could tell it was like. Plus, he was kind of acting like a baby and freaking out a lot. Like he was
Yeah,
like
yeah.
really complaining a lot.
Well,
And
a lot of those, like if you're into archery and some of those real technical sports, most likely you're just a nerd. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like
yeah.
You're.
I sent you the ping pong link too. Did you get the link? Yeah. Oh, you're not on your phone. I sent you a link to table tennis. Holy crap! Last night, China versus Japan, and the way that these guys serve, it's so psychological. With this one guy who goes, he'll bounce it. He'll go like tick 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 tick, ha-dum, and that's his serve.
Oh, yeah,
and then
yeah,
this
yeah.
other guy goes tick tick, and then he'll serve, and it's so crazy.
Yeah.
And then this one guy, it looks like he's serving with his shoulder, but what he's doing is he's kind of like floating the ball, and it just kind of rides his paddle down, and he kind of holds it like your foot would a hacky sack, and then he just kind of zings it across the. It's insane.
yeah,
The
yeah,
level of
it's crazy.
precision that these guys have with seemingly objects that we've seen our entire lives. Like, it's a game, right? You look at it, you're like,
Yeah.
that's obviously a game. Nah, dude, this is a whole serious thing.
I mean, they've played ping pong so many hours for so long, and then the guys that have made it to the Olympics have some sort of extraordinary
It's insane.
hand-eye coordination that other people, you know what I'm saying? Like that mixed with an insane amount of practice, you get this crazy competition. I've seen the ones where they start volleying, like hitting the ping pong ball back from like 15 feet off the table.
'Cause they're just
lobbing
winging it, yeah.
But they're lobbing it up, and the other guy is slamming it down, and they go through this dance, and then they switch places where then all of a sudden the other guy's slamming it, and then lobbing
Yeah.
it. It's this whole dance they do. It's crazy.
A couple of things I noticed that I really thought were interesting are that you warm up with your opponent. You know, like I never knew that. So I found it very interesting as sort of a novice in watching table tennis.
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
very interesting to see the gentleman from Japan and the gentleman from China having to go like ka-dink, 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 and they're warming up together. It was very
Before
odd.
they compete,
yeah.
yeah,
It was
yeah.
like I was like in any other sport, you know, like in soccer, you warm up with your team. In golf, you probably go take some practice swings alone. You ain't gonna warm up with the guy you're trying. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I found that very odd.
Some old school ping pong
And it-
culture.
Yeah,
you know.
very cool. Very cool. I'm trying to think of the weirder sports.
Well, the
that-
BMX, I know.
that's insane. So fast.
The only what made news was that BMX rider that hit the judge walking across the track, which I was telling you, I was like, you'd think that they'd all have some sort of rule. Once the race starts, just stay.
Yeah, stay off the track.
Stay off
Yeah.
the track. It's only going to last a minute, so you're fine. Make your moves before or after the race. But this guy literally was trying to run across the track, and a guy just plowed him full speed.
Yeah, and
Now-
apparently people, the spectators and the competitors were all yelling at the official, "Watch out, watch out!" And he just kept just.
Well, the
Slowly
first
walking
question I
across
would
the track.
ask there was he? Did he speak English?
Don't know.
Because
Maybe like old Japanese man.
Yeah, if you're yelling "watch out" to an old
But if
Japanese
you hear
man,
people
I mean,
yelling, wouldn't you kind of like look around, like what's going on?
how
You know
much?
what I mean?
How much dementia do I have as this old?
I mean, if you're
Japanese
an
man?
official, you shouldn't have any. But
Then-
He hit him hard
Then
too.
I would
He
ask, what does he
plowed
look
him.
like? Was he an old Japanese man?
I don't know.
Was
The
he
It's far
fit?
away.
angle's too far.
Was
to
he fit or
tell.
was he a big fat slob?
No, he was pretty average.
Because if it were a big fat slob, I'd say like there it is, like. But if it's a fit guy,
yeah,
then
yeah.
you got to question it a little more.
And
Oh,
I
God,
don't,
it's so bad.
I don't know what happens in the rules. I
I
guess
haven't
that's
seen the
like,
video. Is it bad?
Oh yeah.
Can you send it to me? Is it worth putting up for
I'm guessing
Yeah.
they
folks to see?
they race
He
again.
looks like an
there.
average-sized, middle-aged man. I'll send it to you. I guess the rider got his knee hurt a little bit, but the official perfectly fine, even though he got plowed.
Oh, that's a shame, man. How mad would you be at that judge?
Yeah,
right?
he said he jumped up and yelled, "What the hell?"
Well, I would be so mad at the judge now that you could
Now-
potentially end
Take somebody
somebody's
out, yeah.
career.
Oh, of course.
You know.
Now, was he winning or losing at the time? Because if you're losing, at least the judge gave you a restart, right? I mean, they have to restart the whole race after that.
I don't know.
I
I
mean,
don't know the rules to that.
Well,
it
what
would
did
probably
they
be
do-
considered like course interference. Or
What did they
something.
do with that marathon? Remember
The
the
triathlon?
The
when they- yeah,
triathlon when that
the
boat was in the way.
They did a restart. So
My wife did say, and I'm sorry, and if you want to send her a nasty text message, you can. But my wife did say, that's like some stuff Tom would have done with his boat. She did say that, just out of nowhere, and you didn't ask for that. That's not fair.
Yeah, but she's correct in the statement, so I have to give it to her.
Okay, she did
Yeah,
say
yeah,
that
yeah,
though.
yeah, yeah.
I'm all about selling my
Yeah.
wife out this year in 2021. When she says things in confidence to me, I'm just gonna tell the person I'm gonna sell her out all year.
If you say something that's mean but correct, it's kind of just correct, right? Like it's only mean because it's true, but
Yeah.
that's on me for making so many mistakes.
Okay.
Because she's just pointing out the truth.
Oh, I found okay, Sam sent me this video here. I'm gonna see if we can get this.
I like all this stuff because it just shows that like
There it is right there.
that everybody is a bumbling fool, right? Like,
Yeah.
Pretty much.
and people make mistakes all the time, and it happens. So it's like even when you have
Ready? Oh, see, it happens so fast because they're going so
man.
fast. Oh, that dumb old
Do
man.
they yell? Let's see with the audio.
the bicycles are so small.
Well, he was already dead, and the one guy goes, "Watch out!" He's like, who's that
I like
guy?
he's like, what the heck are you doing?
I think that was the rider, the Dutch guy.
I do like yelling at someone who obviously has made him.
What the hell are you doing? Hey, I think I'm back here. Rock and roll. What are you doing? Hey, Elvis Presley. What are you doing? You're riding rock and roll bike.
The judge after that, because I'm sure the guy was embarrassed. You have to pretend like you're like seriously injured. So
Well, no, you got to be like, I'm crazy. I'm crazy.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, because you're like,
Yeah.
this was a mistake.
My grandma just died. You have to immediately make up an excuse, right?
The BMX bikes are small. I don't remember them being that small. Like
Yeah, they've always been
Well,
small.
but I don't remember them being
like they are tiny.
Okay, like on a standard bike, like you want the cycle, you want the distance of your seat to be correct. And I've railed about this before, even when Mo's in here and he's talking about helmet heads. I see a lot of kids who they don't have their seat raised correctly, so they're actually injuring their knees by riding incorrectly. If you're a cyclist, you know this, right?
Yeah.
But these guys, it seems like when they're sitting on the seat, I mean, their knees are up near their eyes.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
a
yeah.
whole different
Because-
level of riding, but they're clipped in now too, which I didn't know. That's a lot of power.
I think only
man.
for the racing, yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot of quad
'cause
power.
they-
Holy crap.
They don't pedal that often, only in like flat parts and straightaways and stuff. For the most part, they are just using their momentum
pumping.
and pumping
Yeah.
the jumps so that
Pump the
be,
jump.
be as smooth as possible and efficient as possible. So you want to land your back tire on the apex of that
Right.
next hill
Just
to
like
get the
it-
most power and
I
pump
grew
it.
up with a girl who actually does this for like she goes around all the circuits in Florida.
Then
And
you-
she does it with her kids because two of her
That's
sons
cool.
do it too, and she wins races all the
Oh,
time.
that's awesome.
Dude,
Yeah.
Let's talk to her.
It used to
I
be
can hit her up.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
like BMX.
BMX is
in the
awesome.
80s used to be a thing like soccer is now with you getting your kids into something, right? Like especially in Florida.
Oh,
like,
racing? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I
Like,
saw that in
I'm-
DeLand. I had friends that BMX race for sure.
And I remember like
That's why the dirt
Crystal's
bike thing wasn't
brother-
weird to me. Like you having dirt bikes, all of my friends either did BMX, dirt bikes, or soccer.
Yeah.
That's a thing.
But it was
Baseball.
I wonder if it's like popular in the Midwest too or whatever. But
You got all that land to make tracks. I
Yeah,
bet it
yeah,
is.
yeah.
I would imagine that we'd be a pretty awesome place to ride. I mean, other than the heat.
I've only seen one BMX track, and it's always on my drive down to Miami, and it's off the Turnpike or I-95. I can't remember, but I think it's at Markham Park. There's like a BMX track that I see every time. I'm like, oh, BMX track, like every time.
Yeah.
But I mean, what other BMX? I haven't seen a BMX track in Orlando, right? Have you ever seen one around here?
I'm sure there is, but no.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
answer is no.
Like-
I've seen guys ride ramps, or I've seen guys ride skate parks and stuff.
No, yeah. I
But
know
I've
there's
never
skate
seen
parks.
like a BMX park for like racing.
Yeah. I'm sure there is though, right?
I would imagine like
Oldsmar, Florida. There's one in Avon Park, Cape Coral,
Are
Coral
we a
Springs,
big-
Daytona.
are we a big BMX state?
I think so.
I would
think so.
imagine
Yeah.
we would be,
Just
right?
but-
Because
just
you
like-
ride all the time.
Yes, just like motocross is like year-round training, and up north, you have to stop in winter because it's horrible.
Yeah.
So like there's a lot of stuff like that where it's a lot of golfers and stuff. Anywhere where you can be and train year-round and not worry about weather, it's like Florida's the place.
Sam, look up the most sedentary Olympic sport. Because when I was watching the opening ceremonies, you would see a couple people now and again that would walk through, and you'd be like, that's a dumb old man, or that's an old lady. Like you'd look at them and you'd be like,
Is
We-
darts? I think
I
darts.
think darts
are,
is, and Butler gets all mad about darts because he's a dart man.
Oh, yeah.
Fisher is too. Our friend Chris Fisher apparently is a dartman.
They, I imagine darts and like there's some shooting sports that are probably like you could be old and still.
Darts are
doing it.
just for guys that are afraid of guns, right?
They.
Butler's laughing.
Butler, what do you know
Butler,
about
get
darts?
in here. You're a dartman. Come in here and defend your favorite sport.
So
It's not his favorite
I've
sport. I made
seen,
that up.
Like they do darts on TV, and they have the whole characters, and the guys come out with the mohawks and the loudmouth shorts.
I don't
and
like. No, those are the fat British guys that come out.
But-
and they try to like inject
Yes.
a little bit of fun into darts.
Yeah.
It's super boring. So what do you do? Bowling's the same way. What do you do in
Yes.
bowling and darts? Because it's so boring, you get a mohawk or an afro. You
Yeah.
get fish pants.
Yeah,
You wear flame shoes.
yeah. Get some flame shoes. You're like, your sport
Yeah.
still sucks.
Yeah.
Like,
Wait a minute.
to watch, at
this
least.
dart match is actually quite good considering that this guy's now wearing flame Doc Martens.
Like I have fun playing darts.
I do
which
have
is
fun playing
rare,
darts.
Yeah.
But I haven't played darts since I played at Tiffany's sister's bar in Cocoa Beach with Jimmy that one time.
I played with you guys.
like
yeah.
4 years ago. and
Jimmy's
that-
really good at darts.
yeah. It's an old man game.
It is an old man game. It is. It is.
So what's up with darts?
I mean,
with darts?
I enjoy playing cricket with darts. I mean,
What is that?
It's elimination. So you go 20 all the way down to
Okay.
bullseye, and then you can add points as well. But points makes it complicated
Sounded
with
like you were
the
going to
drinks.
say you go from 20 all the way down to Bullseye Junction.
What's your opinion on the standard cark?
The standard cork. Are you a cork, Maya?
the standard cork board dart board or the little plastic pegs?
I'm a cork. I like
Okay, the
I like
traditional cork.
Yeah, like I think I have 90-gram tungsten
Wait
darts.
a minute. Is it cork? It's like
I don't know what it is.
it's like a lot of paper. It's like a thin roll of paper rolled up, teeny tight, and then the darts just slide between the magazine pieces of paper. You know what I'm talking about?
Is it?
Yeah.
No, mine's cork.
Okay, but
I've
the
seen
cork
ones though. My parents must have had an El Cheapo Deluxe because it was like paper, and then when the darts would go in, it would like split. It was like looking at a roll of
Well, I
caps.
guess it is kind of like mine's kind of cork. I don't know what it is, the material. It's almost like a cork board, but yeah, it is kind of similar. There is
I
layered.
like asking, which one do you like? He's like, I like cork. He's like, it's cork. And then he's like, I don't know what it is.
I got it as a gift. I got it as a gift.
I got it as a gift. I
got it as a gift. What is this? We don't know.
By the way-
I'm gonna say it's cork.
I think
By
it
the
is
way,
cork though.
this is how Butler talks to me all day long,
Yeah.
where he tells me a definite, right? And then I look at him, and then he
I'm a
starts
cork man through and
then
through.
he
well, now
starts
I think about it.
slowly backing it it up to we finally get to the
He
truth.
doesn't know
No, we
what
get
the
to
hell
the
he's
end,
doing.
and he's like,
is-
I hate darts. And we're like,
The
wait a
truth is,
second, what?
you have no idea what you're talking about.
We sir
Every
comes
time-
out, he cards, I'm a championship dart player. At the very end, he's like, I have never lifted my arms. Ever. What is happening?
So in the regular, like I remember the green old school.
That's what I had.
dartboards with the metal
It was made by like
lines.
sport craft
Yeah,
or
yeah.
something.
And but those would get worn out after a time because if
No,
enough.
they get enough water on them, and then
No.
I'd
No,
go
a
in
real,
there
a real dartboard's almost like self-healing.
Oh, okay. Because I was gonna ask you.
Wolverine style.
Yeah.
There's so
Call
many
them Sissel
holes.
fibers.
Okay, that's what holds
That's
it
what
in.
most modern dartboards are made
Cecil
of.
Fielder, the baseball player?
And then it says other materials such as cork, paper, wood, and plastic
Paper!
being used serve a
didn't mean to yell
different purpose.
Calm down, bro.
I know. Geez.
Yeah. So the plastic ones with the nubbies, those are El Cheapo.
Well,
and-
those are for babies.
yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
think.
You want a dart with a spike?
Yeah. Element of danger in there.
A lot
Then
of
you-
bars
I guess
don't
it's
like
made
the
out-
metal,
The
so they don't
sisal
throw 'em.
is it's Mexican agave leaves, so it's made out of like
Really?
yeah.
Wait, what's
That's-
made out of
and
agave?
It's cultivated for fiber production for dartboards.
And so
Cork's
there-
in danger too, so that's
the holes don't stay there because if you get enough bullseye holes, like there's only the bullseye small, then the dart wouldn't stick in anymore. You know what I'm saying? It'd all
Oh,
be
yeah,
mashed
it's-
down.
It still goes in there. It don't look pretty anymore, but it'll still go in there.
Because it doesn't
You
count
know.
unless it sticks, right? If it sticks and falls out, that's not considered a
Right.
hit.
If it sticks and falls out, it's a lazy bullseye.
What's the like if you want to buy yourself a quality
Sport craft.
Quality corkboard.
No, no,
Service
no.
merchandise.
Or darts.
Green paper.
I'm saying your own darts that you get in a satchel or whatever.
It's
you
a
put-
case,
a
and then
case
you
in.
got to get the different the fins that go on the end of
Flights.
them, and you got to get them to be. They got to be that like
I
they
have
got to
Union
look
Jack
like the
ones.
stickers that used to come out of those machines. The shiny
metallic ones.
metallic laser stickers.
Yeah.
When you were a kid, you'd put coins in a machine, you'd slide the money in, and then out of it would come a little cardboard sleeve. You'd open the sleeve, and then there'd be some sort of shiny metallic
The
sticker. in
weird
there.
Dungeons and Dragons sticker
Yeah,
or something.
You
yeah.
got to get the what is that called? Holographic, laser graphic dart
Yeah,
ends.
yeah. So what's a good set of darts gonna
Oh
run
man,
you?
they can go expensive. I think the set that I have, the tungsten ones, I think they were almost $100.
They're out.
And that was without the
God.
flights.
And what's the standard set come with? 5?
No, it's 3 dart.
3, okay.
3 dart.
I'm a 7 dart man myself.
And is that the normal game? It's like you get 3 darts
Typically.
a turn, okay. And then the metal spear at the front of your
Actual dart.
Yeah, is there some sort of technology that goes in that? There's rifling involved, or is that all with the wings?
Never made one, but
Okay.
yeah, I would imagine there's some
I use
rifling
mine
involved.
to pick the tartar out of my teeth. Scrape the bottom of them so you don't get that mung in there.
I remember I did a jackass style stunt when I was in high school, where
Dart in the back.
Beer darts.
No, I did I stood at the dartboard and I was doing the dart in the back thing, and my buddy Enrique hit me in the back of the skull, like
Oh,
in my
God.
hair,
Yeah.
and then it stuck in there.
And that was the day he said he could never change his ways. That was that's when it started, right?
Yeah, that was a
Yeah.
stinger.
That was the day.
Didn't even
and
video
that
it.
was the day. He immediately there's it's sticking in him, and he turned to his wife and he said, "I will never be able to learn Google Calendar."
They're like,
That
"What
was
is
the
that?"
day- yeah.
I'm like, I knew the future.
He was a future man.
They're like, "What?" And this is like in '98.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, darts are weird, bro. Who plays that? Is that from,
Don't say that he's gonna get mad. I said this last time.
Should we get a dartboard for the students?
no?
like,
Because
at
that's
lunch?
a waste. I'm not gonna play darts at lunch.
Why not? We can hang it up in the back, against.
Oh, I go in the back room and be like, I know, I'll kill some time. I got too much to do, and I just done vetoed.
we hang it up. We hang it up on the, the photo wall.
Oh, hang it on the fish tank.
No, throw darts during lunch. and we'll keep a tally. And
Well,
then-
no, I wanted a stand-up video game system first.
Half of us work through lunch, so I don't know
Yeah.
how that's gonna work.
I want
Not
a...
Butler. He'll play darts. And then we'll wander out and be like, hey, we'll fancy a game. We'll play some darts.
Welcome to Butler's Pub. I'm walking, it's all dark in here. There's a lot of hand-carved wood, a fireplace. We go shepherd's pie today, sir. Shepherd's pie, Scotch eggs.
Hey, haggis
We
is...
just gotta go to break.
Oh,
We gotta go to
okay.
break. You never tell us to go to break, haggis.
Welcome back to Corporate Time with Tom and Dan. I'm Tom.
I am Dan. Samantha, our producers here. Butler's in the other room, and this is very cool. And I feel like, are we going back the? Is it going back the other way?
No,
Two-
we're still open, baby.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're
yeah,
still
yeah,
open,
yeah.
baby.
Yeah,
This
yeah,
is.
yeah.
I'm just checking. This is still Florida,
Yeah.
correct?
Yeah, yeah, oh, yeah.
We're still wide open, baby.
Yeah, he's going to be at the Improv, 2 shows Friday night, 2 shows Saturday night. If you want to get the tickets, go to theimprovorlando.com. Jared Freed's on Zoom with us. What's going on, Jared?
Not much. Good to be here. Thanks for having me.
Oh,
Yeah, no
man.
problem.
Anytime.
So, anytime, well, let's start off with your podcast because it's got a huge audience, the J Train podcast. And
I was just listening to it.
And me and Daniel,
Thank you.
we've been podcasting for a while. And so tell us about it and tell us about, we are kind of fascinated with the business behind it because we've seen, we make a living doing podcasting. And we've seen now 100 different ways that people make livings doing podcasts. It's all different.
There's
It's kind
no rules, really.
Yeah,
so.
there's no rhyme or reason. I mean, everybody's kind of settled into a certain business model, but it is all different. So tell us about yours.
Well, listen, there's no barriers to entry, so you get to create any show you'd like, which is pretty cool. I started mine like 9 years ago now, so I was earlier than a lot of people, but not the earliest. And it started as one thing, and then it kind of evolves. You guys know your show wasn't the same from when it's day one to what it is now. So it started as just like I love talk radio. I love hacking it up with people. I love busting chops and
Yeah.
and then people started writing in asking for advice. And at first it was men because generally men listen to talk radio. So a lot of men were writing in asking for advice, and they were kind of in the same spot of life as me where they were single guys and kind of out there looking to meet, women and, date. So a lot of them were dating questions. And then, the male questions are very surface level. It's like, I met this woman. How do we hook up? And it's like, that was like every question. Then women started getting into podcasts and talk radio because of like, the murder mystery podcast. Like that was really a female. Serial was the first podcast where like women were in. And so then you had all these other women starting their own podcasts. And then, I would go on theirs and I talk about dating and talk about the advice that I was how I was speaking about dating in an honest and, edible way. And all of a sudden, all these women started listening. And now we get like, it's about 95% dating questions because it is a lifestyle advice kind of podcast. It was called Dear Abby for dudes at a certain point, and now 80% of our emails are from women.
Right.
And they're the most depthy, great, like fantastic emails because it gives you something to chew on. Every angle of the dating world has gone over. And the reason people kind of come to my podcast is because you can't go to your parents to talk about this. You can't say to your parents, what does it mean when a guy likes 7 of my Instagram pictures in a row? They wouldn't even know what you're talking about. So,
Right.
This is advice that like, and it's commiseration. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. I'm talking out of my ass, but it's more to know that like, you're not strange for noticing that their vibe has changed over text. And what usually happens with dating conversations and is the most confident, least confident person takes over the brunch table. I call them the most confident because they're not afraid of, talking over everyone, but they're the least confident because they don't want to dig into it. They don't want to like admit that there is a tone to texting. They don't want to admit that it's weird that a guy only wants to talk on Snapchat. They don't want to admit that when someone comments on your Facebook picture and doesn't like it, that is a passive aggressive move. The least confident person will not admit to the currency of social media. The real people out there know that the currency exists, and it exists a lot in the dating world.
God, I had no idea that was a faux pas. Like, because I comment on people's stuff all the time, and I never leave a thumb, a heart, or a hug.
Passive aggressive.
I had no idea. I'm learning a lot because I figured the comment was because it's usually going to be a positive comment.
Well, but if it's positive, that's another thing. But if you post, if you post a joke on social media and someone just comes over the top with their punchline that they think is better, and they didn't even like laugh at your joke, what are you doing?
Right. I see what you're saying.
What is this, the rewrite room? What are we in the monologue room for the Tonight Show?
Right.
Laugh at my joke.
Right.
Give me some credit.
I got you.
What I like to do is if I see like a mom post a picture of like her with her family, but she happens to be wearing a swimsuit, right?
Yes,
It's just,
yes.
but it's her doing mom things. I put the big eyes.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
put one big eyes, and they know what that
I've
means.
seen a lot of guys do the big eyes, and
But you're saying something. That is saying something, and we're all giggling at what's being said.
I make it weird too because after, like, I'll do big eyes, and then afterwards I'll write "not for mom,"
Yeah, this is.
and then I just let them figure it out.
Jared,
I comment on my friends' Instagram vacation pictures with how much the room cost a night. I go,
Trivago prices.
Your parents have a lot of money because I know what you make.
Jared, so when did you start, like, in your podcast business model, like, obviously you're touring stand-up, but you've turned your podcast into a business as well. Like, when it comes to that, is it pure advertising? Do you have subscribers? Like, how do you do it?
Do you guys need a loan or something? Did I come on here to give business advice?
Yes.
Shark Tank?
No. Listen, I'm just
in your company. Are you guys doing okay?
I'm
We
just
are
curious, because like everybody has a different model, and they do it different. Some people do it entirely donation based.
Well, I believe he has a Patreon. Like, I was checking out your
So-
Patreon.
I have ads on the show, and I always tell people, again, the currency of social media, whether you want to admit it or not, it is a currency. It matters to some people. It might not matter to you, but your follow, your like, your share is worth a certain dollar amount to the people in this world. And you have to, and you're a number on a page. So you have a certain amount of listeners, then you can get a certain amount of advertisers. I say to the listeners all the time, I'm like, I'm not going to like force an advertiser down your throat. They're there to help you. So they're giving you free money. They're giving you a deal, and then you put in my promo code, and now we're all having fun. You get the entertainment. They get their new product, bought, and I get, to wet my beak a little bit. I think also, like, you add Patreon into that because you say I can add, if you're having value from this, I can give you additional value. But it's also like, as far as advertising is concerned, I do everything else and then try to funnel people down to the places I can make money. So like, I'm on Instagram, and my goal on Instagram is to put out something funny every day. And through that, I started yelling at The Bachelor on Monday nights. So on Monday nights, I go and I yell at The Bachelor live with the show, and people tune into that, and that's free. That is free. You can tune into my Instagram stories every Monday night. If you love The Bachelor, you can tune in. But I'm going to do a commercial for myself. I'm going to say, hey, I'm in Orlando this weekend. I'm going to say, hey, you should listen to my podcast. Hey, you should follow so that you can listen to my podcast. So like, we have to trust the kind of the trickle down economy of social media.
Yeah, no, 100%, and that's what everybody's figuring out. What's interesting to me is like, because we started our podcast in 2009, and back then it was like, the only advertisers were the Squarespace, and like, you get hit up by them and like Stamps, all this, and then a lot of time has passed and everybody started figuring it out, and now we're at the stage where I talk to other podcast friends and they got marketing agencies just bidding for their entire content, and they'll put the ads in and they do it all. Like, we're not big enough. We're smart. We're localized here in Orlando, so we literally, I got a sales guy and me. we go out and get local advertisers and like old school radio, like,
Yeah.
local and that kind of deal. But nowadays, I mean, if you have a big enough audience, a marketing agency would come and just offer you a guaranteed monthly
They'll
minimum.
just scoop you up and give you the ads to run.
And then, so you don't have to do nothing. You
Yeah.
don't have to sell your own. You don't have to take any emails. They do it all. I was just wondering if that's the way you do it, if that's the way you've seen,
or if he's still hands-on.
or if you're
yeah.
still doing the sales or have a sales employee.
I've partnered with people on everything. I think that's the big thing for any business is to not be afraid of giving away part of it and saying, hey, like, let's work together. Like, I mean, nobody that I work with works for me. Everyone works with me because we're all trying to eat what we catch, so I truly believe in that. Like, and it's hard because if you start a podcast, I say there's no barriers to entry, but there is a barrier. You have to buy bandwidth and you have to create a business. But a lot of people don't even think of first of all, a lot of people that start podcasts don't think that there should be a show. They're just like, oh, it's just us hanging. Like I've had to start asking when people ask me on their podcast, I've had to start asking for the premise of the show because I've gotten to shows and been like, what? Why am I in control of this thing? Like, what's going on here? So
that's kind of what we do. We dance around the mom's living room table, just a candid conversation.
Yeah.
In the basement.
Well, the barrier, as you know, the barrier is how to garner an audience,
Right.
and that's the hard part. It's
That's the hard
so
part.
everybody can
And keep your audience.
You could do a podcast, put it on the internet, and then have 3 people listening, or your family or friends, or 30 people, and never get above that. And then so getting the audience is the barrier to entry, and you'll know if you have an audience. Nowadays, like you go on someone's Facebook Live or see what their views are as you're watching, and you'll see how popular they are, right?
You can see
Well,
it.
the biggest thing I found was so many people going, I'm not a podcast person. Like they make it a personal thing. And I always encourage the audience. I think you have to speak to what the negatives people bring up about, because you need the audience to share. Like that's the only way. A recommendation is always the best way to go. So my show, I say if you have a friend dealing with a problem we're talking about, that's someone to share to. And then if they say I'm not a podcast person, just know it's because they feel stupid. They feel behind. There were people that said I'm not an ATM person.
Yeah.
At some point.
Wait,
So
that's you. That's what you said. That's what he said.
I
goes
go
into
to
the
the
bank.
bank.
He still goes inside the bank, and now
Yeah.
you
And
have
if
to
his president is-
schedule. Now you have to schedule to go in there because of COVID. He has what's the guy's name? The
he-
tall black guy. What's his name?
He doesn't work there anymore. Now
Oh
it's a new
my-
manager.
oh, no.
Yeah.
He
To
died
me,
of
that's a
COVID.
that's a show of I don't know how to do this. I don't want to know. I don't want to hear about how I don't know how to do these things, and I'm not. So they make it a personal
Yeah.
thing, and it's so you go, yeah. Listen, I get that, and that's okay. Just understand why people say that.
Well, my favorite thing is when we tell them we have a podcast. We came from terrestrial radio, so it's a whole thing. Terrestrial radio people, and they're like, I don't know, I'm not a technology guy. I'm like, you have a cell phone, right? I'm like, it's a one button at this point. Like you download our app.
It comes preloaded on the phone now.
Apple Podcasts, Google Play. You click on our faces.
It's not worth it.
And it
It's
starts
not worth
playing.
it.
It's not like you have to start writing code to figure out how to. It's one. You click on our face, our logo, and then you start hearing the words.
Right.
You don't have to be a technology anyway.
I mean, the minute Wi-Fi is in the car, in every car, and the minute you can just touch a button on your console in your car, it's over. It's over because everyone wants on demand. Everyone wants, that for their TV life, and it's moving that way for the airwaves,
Yeah,
100%.
100%. Well, Jared, has been great talking to you. Jared Free is going to be at the Improv. 2 shows on Friday night, 2 shows on Saturday night. If you go to theimprovorlando.com, you can get your tickets.
Easiest way to get tickets, go there, say hi to Krista, all of her staff. They're wonderful. If you've never been there before, you owe it to yourself to check out the room. It's a great room, and go see Jared. Hey, thanks for the time, man. We appreciate it.
Thank you, guys, and I'll be taking my 10% for all the business advice down the road.
Absolutely.
Yes, all right.
For sure.
I
For sure.
appreciate it.
Cheers, man.
See you,
Be good.
Jared.
He's a screamy boy.
Yeah. I almost brought up the mic, and I was like,
No,
I'm
I
gonna-
can see it.
I'm going to say it. It's a little...
I called this before we started talking to him because I saw him on another
Okay.
podcast.
Screamy
We do have to go, but yeah, go ahead and complain.
I'm just, I wanted to say, one of the poorest people I know, Tuttle, has an awesome mic, and he's literally talking.
I'm still on the line. I'm still on the line.
Inside his PT Cruiser at a place called Hobo Fish Camp, and he is crisp. It sounds
It's
beautiful.
crisp. It does sound beautiful.
Sure does.
And
I
then,
just talked to Tuttle. He wants to know what time he has to be there. He's very nervous.
He's asking all of
He's
us. at the
very
same time.
nervous. He's freaking out. He was texting me, and then he called me last night. I picked it up. I'm like, hello.
Seth
I
already
could
dropped
hear
out.
him.
Oh.
Seth,
dropped-
everybody's dropping out.
Yeah,
Everybody's
yeah.
afraid. Everybody's afraid.
No, it's Mike Busey and Tuttle will
Well,
be there.
Busey's not
Ross
but-
probably will
but,
drop out.
Busey, patient one. Tuttle,
yeah.
never afraid of anything.
yeah.
Ross, I don't blame you.
Yeah.
Seth, I do blame you. You're the healthiest person I know.
No.
What else? I want to
he's dropped out.
pontificate.
No,
Did we
that's
get the DJ where we can yell into his headphones because we have no microphones?
yeah, we got that.
Okay. Is the shark going to be on site?
I mean, I paid for half of it. So
Oh.
well, it's a half down type of thing. You know,
Oh, my God.
I told them that
Is the beer shack going to be open?
Oh, that's
listen,
open, baby.
do we
I
have
don't
waitresses?
know. I don't know nothing of it. Yeah.
Yeah,
There's
I don't
something.
That's a good way to end. And bye-bye. So you're starving yourself again.
No, I'm not starving myself. I'm just.
What
trying to-
happened? You partied
You
a little.
anorexic, bro?
Okay, let me
No.
guess. Let me guess. You partied too hard when you went away to the Davenport house, and you partied. You did your typical Champions Gate blow it sideways,
Yeah.
and you were eating everything and drinking everything, and you
Yeah.
felt guilty when you came back, and now you're doing that thing where you like, if we get a sandwich, you only eat the meat. If you get like a rice bowl, you only eat the meat and veggies. Right? Starving yourself.
I'm not starving myself.
Saving your
I'm just
calories
like,
for alcohol.
Yeah, I am doing. Yeah.
You can't live off alcohol.
No.
You
By
know
the
who
way,
you know who told
Butler
me
did
that?
make a comment about how you were taking too long at Publix to get your lunch today. He's like, he's been gone a long time.
Oh God damn it! I had to poo poo. Why did?
I told him don't chopper him when he gets back.
Butler, get in here.
And then I brought it up.
Butler, get in here. You did it. You did
Butler.
it again. Oh, he's so happy.
Why-
Look how happy he
Who
is.
notices that? Also, who makes a comment? I like if someone leaves and then it's their lunch break.
Ladies and
I don't
gentlemen,
care
our-
how long. I don't even wonder what they're doing.
Our sales
It's
guy,
their business.
jack of all trades. It is our good friend Travis Butler.
Like it's their. If,
Well done. You know what?
If any of you-
presto trip for you, sir. Well done.
when we go to lunch and if anybody decides to leave, I'm never gonna even wonder where they are unless it's past the time when they're supposed to be back. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So like,
you got that hour. Yeah.
like, and they come back
So
1
if
minute. I won't even wonder.
Up
Like if
to
you're
the
gone.
minute. So we had an interview at 11. It didn't. It
Okay.
fell through, and we're going to
Yeah.
reschedule.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
if you came in here and you were sitting ready to go, which you were, by the way, and I was coming in late, you weren't at all ready to text me and say like, "Where you at, bro?"
No, because I already assumed that you were trying to get back here as fast as possible.
Did you
Because I know
know-
you.
did
There was
you
no
know
reason to
that
text
I-
you. You
did-
knew about the interview. You knew what time it was. You were driving here as fast as humanly
Did you
possible.
know that I
you.
had to stop at Publix to take a poop?
no.
I just wanted to spare you guys because
Don't spare us, bro. We have a bathroom here. We're all adults.
No, come on.
We're all
It's
adults
bad.
here.
It's
It's the
something-
sounds. If you could just stay quiet when you do it.
No. It's more than that.
It's the screaming.
No. It's more than that. And then someone and the Publix is busy, and then there's people walking in. There's
What,
a
that
jam-
bathroom?
Yeah. They kept walking
I
in.
always look straight down at
They
the
were
umbrellas.
trying to clean the bathroom,
Well,
but
it
you
is a
wouldn't get
public
out of there.
Well, I look
I know.
straight down
I
at
know.
the umbrellas. There's a totes umbrella stand as you walk into the bathrooms. I look right at the umbrellas, and I know I'm going in there to do bad.
I always think like that the bag boys and girls are watching people walk in the bathroom
It's
and
right up front.
And they're and then they said mental timers.
yeah, and they don't come out for a long time. They say to themselves,
Dude, that
oh,
means-
That's
wait, they're-
anxiety,
No,
bro.
that makes you that.
Well, that's what Butler's
that
doing.
means you have some sort of weird ego that you actually. How conceited do you have to be?
Well, it's
to
people
think,
like Butler
Butler's
that makes them
doing
think
it
that.
to me. Like, so
Samantha,
that's
how
what
much
makes
of an
me believe-
egomaniac do you have to be to assume that the bag boys and girls at our Publix are setting mental timers
Okay.
when superstar Tom Van walks in to take his daily constitution?
Listen,
that doesn't happen.
I'm not saying the bag boys and girls are choppers. I'm just saying there's a certain percentage that are, and it's real high. and
yeah.
so they're doing the same
It's
thing
choppers
Butler's
versus
doing.
ploppers.
They're doing the doo-doo man.
And I'm afraid they're going to make a comment.
What are they,
They
gonna
would
say?
never
What are
say.
they gonna say? You're coming out.
Well,
we're gonna
what
do the
Butler
old,
says
at like what? Like Andrea will do the everything come out all right in there.
Yeah. I
And then
don't-
you know what? I call her bluff. I go, no, it was horrible, and I got it all over my hands.
You should buy some matches before you go in there.
I say the most vile things.
So what is it, Butler? How does your brain work where you're noticing how long
Were you
people
just
are
looking
taking?
kept looking at the clock?
No. I mean, I knew you went to go get your lunch. You're usually faster than that. And I was sitting there,
You
and it had
were-
been a while, and I was like, man,
So
Tom's taking a long time.
Did
And-
it occur to you that
Do
the
you buy
reason
the
I'm taking
groceries
a long
first?
time is my own business, and maybe you shouldn't start talking to Samantha about why and contemplate like what could be the problem? Like, let's go
What's
over it.
wrong with having somebody care about you, bro?
He
And
doesn't care about me.
He
I
does
know
care
he
about you.
doesn't.
He
No,
was
he doesn't.
worried about you.
No,
And-
he's
and
not.
the-
He is not.
He is worried about
No,
you.
he's
Maybe
not
he
worth
thought
nothing.
something bad happened.
No,
you got
no.
hit by a car.
The thing that bothers all of us is that
No,
you
if
buy
I-
your
if
lunch
I die
and-
tomorrow, I'll be like, oh, I don't have to go to work. That's all
Oh,
you're saying.
no, he texts me. He'd be like, "Hey, boss. I mean, there's nothing to do. I mean, day off.
Tom said,
Day off. I
Tom
want to take
said.
the kayak out, or maybe make a new thermal grenade."
Yeah, so
Someone in the chat said he missed you, and that could be true because he
Yeah.
was saving that video of that guy dancing around in
Yeah, he loves to save
Brazil
his,
or whatever
He
it
saves
was.
his favorite memes. His
He
favorite.
sent it to
I
you
don't
through
like it.
text, though, didn't he?
I tell you I don't like
Yeah.
it. I said, what the hell is this video, Butler? And then you told me, and I was
Yeah.
like, I don't like it.
He's got
So stop sending it to me.
he's got dancing baby screensaver. He's got duck job. He's got all
Yeah,
the
stop. I don't, what? Like, when have you ever seen me be happy about a meme or a dancing long neck? I have never.
Oh yeah, the new
Did I ever?
Bulgarian long neck.
Do I ever show you guys memes of that? Like, what makes you think I want to see that?
Occasionally, you'll show me the Michael Jordan crying meme. You know what's weird about you? What's weird
Why
about
is
you?
his eye so yellow?
That's jaundice. What's
Does
weird
he have
ab-
jaundice?
Well, he doesn't
He
not
did.
have jaundice. Closer to
eyes-
jaundice than away from jaundice.
Bro, your eyes are yellow. I don't know what that is.
I don't know. Maybe he's turning into a frogman.
You have slam dunked your eyes in pee-pee.
That's the dumbest thing you've ever said.
Now, Tom, the thing that bothers me is that you buy your lunch, you buy your sandwich, and then you buy us caffeine, but you buy it before you go into the bathroom to go number two.
No, you don't.
Yes, he does.
No.
He goes through the line.
No.
Yes,
No.
and then he brings all of his groceries and he sets them on the floor and does his constitution and then he walks out. I've seen you do
I
this.
did that one time. I learned from that.
I learned.
Because I learned that's what a crazy person does. It was like, oh.
Ew, you brought your groceries into the
No, I know.
And he
I
set
set
them on
him-
the floor.
No.
But he sets them near the sink. He goes to the handicap stall, puts them near the sink, near the wall.
No.
Like a handy. Like you
No.
know, you ever notice that homeless people, they go in, they go immediately to the handicap stall, and then they put their backpack with their change of clothes and toilet paper on the wall. Then they go bathe in the toilet. Right? You stand
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
toilet. It's hard to get your toes down in that little hole. You got to almost geisha your toes into the hole and splash up.
Ugh.
You splash up. And then to
Yeah.
do the other part, it's really hard because you got to do a hand stand on your shoulders and then repeatedly dunk your head while doing a handstand. You're like a swish, swish, swish. It's hard, man. Living on the streets.
He was just waiting. He was just waiting to show you that video.
Living on the streets is
mean,
no joke,
But he
bro.
texted to me.
Well, you didn't get back fast enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you don't get back fast enough for the meme, he'll launch it.
And
Yeah.
then what did you say, Samantha, when he said what?
I said, "Don't you chopper him,"
Oh,
and then I
okay.
brought it up on air.
Well, it could
Yeah,
have
but
been,
that's a good producer.
it could
Because
have
you
been
knew that's what I
it
really
could have been
want.
retaliation for yesterday. Didn't you chop him
What
when
about?
we were
You
leaving?
did.
What?
He said he had to run to the store.
And you said, "What are you buying, bro?"
I
he
don't
said, he
know.
said something
Oh,
something
yeah.
personal.
Yeah, I gotta go to the store and pick up something personal. And you're like, "What are you getting, tampon?"
Well, he knew what I was doing. What Butler's doing is 100% legitimate and instinctual,
Yeah.
which is odd. Like, his instinct is to ask what people are doing.
He's
and
nosy. Is that what it is?
I mean, you're
Inquisitive.
like, what are the...
That's a good way of saying nosy.
Yeah,
I'm
he is.
inquisitive.
You're
Like when I was over here trying to get the password correct for Seth's girlfriend's OnlyFans, Butler would come and put his head next, like he'd set his head on my
Yeah,
He's
shoulder.
trying to peep for the
And
password.
no, he's just
Yeah.
watching me to see if I'm doing it right, and I'm like,
I'm
a
just
little
really comfortable cheek
just
to cheek.
Give me a little space here, bro.
It's like the guy at the next door cubicle, and he comes to work, and he's got sandals on, and he's got what's obviously psoriasis all over his feet. And the doctor said you can't put socks on because you have your psoriasis medication.
Our old manager used to have
Yeah, I
that.
know.
Oh,
And then
Our old
Butler's the type
manager
of-
used to have these psoriasis feet. Oh my god,
yeah.
it was like part Parmesan cheese every step.
So he had like a suit and a tie on, but with Tivas with red rashy feet.
Yeah, red rashy feet.
And then Butler was the type of guy they'd be like, "Hey, what's wrong with your feet?"
Yeah, he would.
He would say,
You would. If
"Hey,
we-
what's wrong with your feet?"
We could have been like
To
introducing
embarrass
you to
him.
our big boss, and he'd be like, "Oh, whoa,
What
wow.
happened to your
You know, my wife could really, crack your back
Oh,
and
yeah,
solve
yeah,
your
yeah.
feet." Like,
Oh,
you'd
that
have a
was his
whole
wife.
spiel.
Yeah,
Be like,
just
you
to
know what
market his
causes
wife.
that? You have an iron deficiency.
Yeah,
You
my
know,
wife can rub that out.
Oh, make a buff
Does
that
your
Parmesan.
wife know you're sending disgusting people? I should email your wife and be like,
Dear madam, do you know your I was going to say your son. Dear madam, did you know your slow son has been sending Disgusto El Barfos to your practice? Signed, a concerned Tom Van. Oh, damn. I said it.
It's just so odd because my natural instinct is to be quiet and not say anything. So if like,
Yeah, but in any
it's the
scenario,
op-
I mean, this place could be on fire, and you'd be like, "Be quiet."
Yeah, but
Just stay quiet. Like,
Not my
but it's,
business.
but it's like if I was in an elevator, right, and I'm standing still, and I'm
I used to do this to you all the time, and then you don't
I know, but then someone next to me cranks a loud, like I'm saying, like not even a little fart, but just a loud blammer,
A
like,
blammer.
like a blammer where you like, did you do that on purpose? I will not even flinch. I won't. I will just. I'll turn to stone. I will
He
stop
will.
breathing.
He'll turn to stone.
Yeah, that's what. Like I just looked at Medusa snakes, and then I'll just stand and because I will be so afraid
Mortified,
of being
just mortified,
awkward, of,
yeah.
like even being like, oh, because it
It's
would
torture to you, right?
It would be
A
less.
little bit?
It would be less uncomfortable if I was the type of person to be like, laughed and be like, "Oh man, what'd you eat?" Like you know,
Would you?
like an old Texan. You know, like that's what their personality is.
Like my dad.
Yeah,
my
yeah.
dad would be in a like he big fart. My dad would be like, "Whoa, who fired that shot?"
Yeah, yeah,
You know, he had a whole bunch of them. You know, he'd be like, "Right over the bow."
Now see,
You know, he had a bunch of good audio.
Well,
He had 1,000 different little fart quips.
if I'm me and your dad standing and he makes that joke, then I'll laugh with him because
Right,
I'll really.
right,
but I'm
right.
talking about if they crank a loud fart and no one and they obviously are embarrassed, I will not embarrass them further and I'll stare at the wall and act like I couldn't hear it or whatever.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
That's the exact opposite of Butler's. Like we are the exact
Tom
opposite.
could be part of the Queen's Guard. He just
Yeah.
stands straight ahead.
Yeah, he could. He absolutely could.
Yeah, that's got to be some sort of a personality trait, right? Like the people that are in the Queen's Guard that do that.
Yeah.
Although, like I was in St. Augustine last
I
weekend.
break too easy with a lot of things, man.
and they had one of those people like street performers, and he was dressed like
With the living statues. type
yeah,
thing?
He's just like a juggalo.
no, it was like he was like a doll. He was dressed like a 1950s
Wait.
doll.
I was going to say, was it Substat?
it kind of looked like that, like a marionette
Okay.
or like a ventriloquist dummy.
Rose, my Irish rose.
He was dressed like a ventriloquist dummy, and he had like
Oh, he had the lines.
Yeah,
down?
the
That's
lines.
terrifying.
And
oh
that
my
is kinda
God.
scary.
But he was just sitting on the bench, frozen, doing his frozen
Yeah.
thing, and then everybody's walking by, and I'm like, man, he's really frozen. Like he's not even moving at all.
He's dumb as really dumb. You're an idiot, man. You tell stories. And like, I'm this close to quitting the show. It's got no point. It's just gotten to a point where I can't take it anymore.
Dude, that's a skill. To stand frozen like that, none of us could do it. Like, I mean, this guy was frozen.
I'm telling you, this guy looks like he'd been shot with a freeze ray. All right, I'm back in. I love the show again. It's so funny. It's just so funny.
No one cared. By the way. Oh, it was packed. Oh, it was
It
packed.
was packed. I went a couple weeks ago.
The easiest
was
way to not get
ass-packed.
corona is to sit still on a bench.
No, he just sat there, and I wanted to bring my sons over to look, but then I was afraid that you gotta if you look at them too long, you gotta tip them.
No, that's
You
not the
don't
rule.
have to,
That's
no.
not the rule.
Well,
Yeah.
if you're not a cheapo.
Yeah. Because
No. If it's
you-
a singer-songwriter, if the guy's out there playing songs and
But
you
if he's
sit
just
and listen
sitting
to
there.
it, if the guy's just sitting
no,
there,
but that's his performance.
No,
I don't care.
Then what? Do I have to turn my back to him if I just happen to be catching some shade?
no.
I'm not
You
doing
can't
that.
look in his
No,
direction.
You and I disagree. Maybe I'm
Hold
grubbier
on.
than you because I'm not paying for you just to sit there and act like a doll. I'm not paying a doll.
But
No.
that's his entertainment. And then you tip him, and then
No.
he'll move, to show that he's not really a doll.
That's money. Money well spent.
That's how I
Not a
understand
real
it.
doll.
That's right. That's the thing.
Well, damn it. He got me good. I thought that was a doll and I'm out $10.
You're gonna give a doll $10?
Who wants to go to
that
the
$10 is
rendezvous
a
and have an
dollar.
overpriced beer?
You just put $1 and then he moves.
No,
and
not
everybody-
doing it.
He can do it for a kid. Like I was gonna bring Tommy and Max.
Singer
Watch,
songwriter,
I put
I'll
$1.
do it. That
he'll
guy
move.
is not that is not an act.
Because my sons will be like, "Oh my God, that isn't," because he was so still.
Your sons see a man on a bench who has face paint, crude homeless face paint, and they're like, "Oh my God, somebody left their doll here." I don't believe that. I don't believe
No,
that.
but he's
I don't
so
believe
still.
that.
They've never seen a human be that still. Like
They are that human.
They are that still. Yeah, you're
They
right.
just paint them like dolls, and you can be rich.
It's true.
I set him in St. Augustine bench. And like,
You're rich.
Just sit here.
He's just
tipping them, they're just sitting there.
I just want to be a doll. It's a great life, I guess. They're not. They didn't even have the. He didn't even have the platform.
No, he's sitting on the bench.
Yeah.
Just sitting on the bench. And
So you tipped him. What did he do to?
No, I didn't. I just walked. Because
you're a chicken.
well, I don't have dollars. Who's got dollars?
Doll. I get it. Dollars.
I don't have any cash on me anymore, so I would have tipped him because if I had dollars, I was gonna get
You
my
should have
sons
asked
to come
the doll,
back.
Excuse me, doll. Do you have Venmo?
They should have some sort of
A lot of performers do now.
Yeah,
like a
some of them
sign.
do.
Cash app or whatever. Yeah.
Because then, if like each tip, like their phone could vibrate, and then they could move and show that they're not a doll.
Yeah. What I like to do
You ought
is
to start managing these dolls.
should.
maybe
I
they
wonder.
could get
They're
a
doing a bad
Fairvilla
job.
dolphin, a strap-on dolphin, and then when you tip them, if they have the pink wand inserted, it vibrates, letting them know that they've been tipped, and then they dance like a doll.
Let me ask you guys this. So when I was walking through St. Augustine, I was walking behind a guy, and it was so packed that I couldn't even walk around him because it's like
He's a big fat slob.
when it's like when you're walking in the fair, you just have to walk with the the masses of people.
Can't
you know?
stop either.
You can't-
D2B, yeah.
Yeah, you
It's
can't.
Yeah,
hard
the
for me to
flow.
do. As little as I am, my wife and my daughter, being like full-size humans, they start ripping through crowds, and I have to hang back, and I'm like, wait,
So-
the doll.
It is hot outside, of course, and I mean it was like 91, and we're in like 2:00 in the afternoon, so it's peak heat, right?
Yeah.
So
2 or 3 is just
I'm
gross.
dying, and I got a V-neck and tiny
All
dukes on and
right.
sandals,
Yeah.
and I'm like,
Took the
God, it's
polo
hot.
off.
Yeah.
So
Why don't you
thi-
just take your shirt off, buddy?
this guy had like vampire boots for you know what I'm saying, like fancy.
Wait, you mean Goth to Death? I support these guys.
yeah, and he
Where they don't care what it is, they're just going to wear it.
He had like maroon pants, but this was more like he wasn't goth. It was like a fashion person from Europe, right? So he had maroon
You
jeans.
must be one of them fashion people from Europe.
Oh my God. You're just Billy.
Oh, my God.
No, I'm saying this-
wait, what do we got here?
He was-
One of us, them there, scientistos.
He was dressed like a future vampire in disguise. You know what I'm
Okay,
saying?
maybe
like,
he was.
But he had a knit black turtleneck on,
Oh, come on.
Ooh.
and it was thick knit, like
A sailor sweater.
yeah,
Sure
like
he
a.
didn't work at like the steampunk store there.
Well, that's what Crystal said. He may work at some sort
Had
of
to have,
thing,
or the
like,
torture
use a costume.
museum or
But
something.
There are
We-
no
I-
steampunk people in Florida.
I walked
There's a whole store
far.
for it in St. Augustine.
Well, stupid, because it's too hot for steampunk.
And he was talking to his family, so it seemed like he wasn't just an employee walking to his.
Was he a tour guide?
No, it didn't seem like it was over the top, like he was dressed like a pirate or some sort of thing. It was just wearing a knit sweater.
Do you have a top hat with any type of
No.
copper goggles on it?
Trifold.
and some people are able to wear those things in hot weather, and it doesn't bother them, and I don't understand how. Because
They're
it's like
usually
it's
like
not,
super skinny people.
he was skinny.
Yeah, super skinny people can rock trench coats all the time. Can rock like jeans all the time.
Is it because their core temperature, the fat, like our fat, like keeps us running hot?
Yeah, that and we're alcoholics.
Oh yeah. Like,
No, I don't believe. No, I don't think it's a fat like keeps
Yeah.
you hot. I think we're 96.5. Every one of us.
No,
well,
no.
skinny people tend to wear the more hot clothing.
They can.
Yeah, like you don't see a
Yeah,
bigger dude.
That person was definitely hot though. Like if he's wearing some thick wool knit like a cotton sweater,
He was
some
a-
leather jeans and some boots.
He was eating ice cream too.
Oh, he was definitely hot. He was definitely hot. He's like, God damn, I'm dying.
but like I'm sweating, and this guy didn't seem like he was
Wait a
drenched.
minute. He wasn't goth?
I don't know.
Because I
mean,
don't like it
but
when
that's how
goth
he was
people do
dressed.
fun things.
He could be mod.
If you're going to be goth, you can't eat an ice cream. Not in front of people.
Yeah.
But
You got to
Black
eat that
ice
in
cream.
Unless
behind
you just
closed.
let it melt.
Yeah, well, that would
Yeah,
fit
yeah,
the.
yeah.
That would be on brand.
Yeah.
If
That's
you
a
just let it
milkshake.
roll
That
down
still
your
doesn't matter.
hand.
Yeah. You can't be riding a ride.
Yeah, no,
It's all-
you can't own a convertible.
Yeah, you can't have any
You
fun.
can't be goth and own a convertible. It's just that doesn't mix.
Yeah. Can't be singing karaoke. Like any of that. Yeah, you have to walk
Yeah.
and be sad.
You have to walk it like you talk it.
Oh, bye bye.